Good morning, boomers. The voice of the blockchain, Satoshi's big cousin, crypto's finest, Champagne Crypto. Thank you for booming in. Today I want to talk about BTC. It's meeting its resistance. We want to talk about the wise Liqiud NFT token contract that they're about to introduce. I want to review that briefly. I want to talk about the Pulsechain sacrifice has been completed. Last day, I don't know, they've raised a lot. We're going to talk about that and more. Make sure you drop a comment here in the chat box. We are live preheating this crypto oven to 38,500 and beyond. Looks like BTC met some resistance over there at 42. I told you, I think it was, I wasn't buying in just yet. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't buying in, like I've said in the past, I want to see the price of Bitcoin above 42,000 for several days before I decide that the trend has reversed. Let me go ahead and share my chart. Boom, you got 38,533. Like I said, meeting coming up short here, meeting some resistance at 42.6, I believe. Like I said, if we would have stuck around above 41, for, today, tomorrow, till the weekend, I think we could have reversed the trend, but too little. I'm not convinced. Let's go ahead and zoom out of, the three. Let's do the year to date, So, it's a nice run up here. I mean, have we broken the downtrend? It looks like we may have, but let's see what happens after this wave. So you got this peak. Now we're going to go ahead and go down. Let's see how far this goes down to, if it meets some support there at mid-30s, and if the overall trend increases in the coming weeks. So this is a hurry up and wait type of moment. Guys, drop a comment here in the chat box. Let me know if you read me loud and clear out there. I got my chat box open, and I want to make sure that everything is connected properly. So kaboom to that. Let's go ahead and check out Pulse. I mean, I was watching the streams yesterday. Like I said, I've been checking out Richard's streams, and one thing I must admit, I mean, I learned something out of all those streams. There's certainly some points that he's made that I haven't considered, like Matic having admin keys, and the sell pressure that Bitcoin miners have by mining the BTC. So let me go ahead and check this out over here on Pulsechain. Is it pulsechain.com or was it Pulse Lead? Yeah, sacrifice is over here on pulsechain.com. You can see that it's at 0. There's no more time left. So this says do not sacrifice any more money. What's the total sacrifice here on Pulse Lead? I think on Ether alone, they had almost $1 billion. So that's quite interesting. Pulse Lead, let me pull that up. Pulse Lead. 670, and that's on Ether alone, I believe. So I would imagine that total sacrifice between all the blockchains is obviously above $1 billion. If just Ether alone is at 670. So shout out to Gino. I see you, Gino. Thank you as well for stopping by. Trapcation says 14 billion. Really? Where are you getting that number from? Because I mean, I'm not seeing it. That's excellent. But where are you getting that number from? I see the 670 here on Ether. So it's, in total. Okay, yeah. But so on Ether's less than $1 billion, and on all the other chains, there's over 13 billion. It doesn't really make sense to me. But hey, I mean, I receive it. Just getting close to $1 billion is great. Ether scan. Okay, I mean, I don't see why it's not reflected here, but yeah. So Trapcation's here saying that it's 14 billion. That you could see it on EtherScan. I don't see how that makes 14 billion on EtherScan alone on EtherScan. Okay, yeah. Let's. What was the sacrifice address? Anyhow, so we're getting numbers here at 14 billion. I'm seeing 670. I think we can all agree that the sacrifice phase went well and that they've raised a lot, and it shows promise. Now, what the token is going to do, I have no idea. This thing is going to launch at 0, and let's see if the market does anything with it. I would assume that maybe perhaps yes, but anything could happen. I'm excited about the duplicate ERC20 tokens that are going to be duplicated on the Pulsechain. All the P versions, so PUSD, P Tether, P ETH, P Hex. It's an interesting experiment. See what happens. That in essence, this is diluting everybody's supply and having a duplicate on another chain. That's more easily accessible than it is on the Ether chain. So there's pros and there's cons. So let's see. That's all I got to say. Let's see. Shout out to Trapcation. Shout out to Gino. The rest of the boomers in the chat. Make sure you drop a comment. Let me know if you read me loud and clear. Now, let's talk about this Liqiud NFT. Let me tell you something. It's been a while since I've talked about Wise. And you guys know about Wise. It's something similar. It was inspired, obviously, by Hex. It's kind of like a bond where you can lock up your Wise and earn APR over some time. I would say, the price of Wise is above that of which it launched at. I think, the average pre-sale price was around 15 to 20 cents. Last time I checked, Wise was trading around 40 cents. So, yeah, I mean, it's up. I think that it just didn't do as well as some people expected it to. But, nevertheless, the team is growing and they seem to be putting in work. They have done other versions on Wise on Binance and I believe Matic. Price right now is at 41 cents, as you can see here. And it's all right. Now what the latest project is offering is this NFT contract that allows liquidity pools to be created for NFTs, and the revenue from that contract on Ethereum somehow is going to be used to reward those long-term stakers and those that are involved in the Wise token staking program. So I'm sure some of you guys listening may be positively impacted by this. So I'm going to link you guys to this video. It's about a 15-minute video where the gentleman Peter from the Wise Soft Foundation or LLC, whatever that he wants to call it, the guys that are creating Wise, they have created a contract that will allow people to provide liquidity for NFTs. So let's say if you want to take a loan out on your NFT, you could put it up. People can bid on its value. Like, so you could say, okay, I got this NFT. I want to take a loan that's $1,000. There's a period where people could bid and, fill up your request. And, if you don't meet it, basically the market can liquidate your NFT. So, if you don't pay back the loan, that people have to agree on what the price of the NFT is first. So like, let's say if you think your NFT is 1,000 and you put it up, but you can only collect, I don't know, X amount, then that's what it is to the market. Right. I think that this is a step towards the right direction. I think this is exactly what the NFT marketplace needs, the NFT space needs. It needs liquidity pools. And ultimately, I think this is a bigger idea down the line for something that may or may not work in the real world. Imagine having liquidity pools for real estate where you could easily go ahead and sell your house without having to deal with a real estate agent or finding a buyer, that you could just sell to the market maker. I can see that type of technology perhaps being implemented in the real world later on in the future. Obviously, there's going to have to be a way to liquidate your house and take ownership of it because it's a physical asset. But in the meantime, we can experiment with virtual assets in the real world, and the contract could easily confiscate your virtual assets should you not pay. So like I said, I think it's a great idea. Let me go ahead and link you guys. I already did. Yeah, I linked you guys. Watch this entire video. I'm not going to play it. It's 15 minutes, but it does show a lot of promise. I really like the idea of being able to provide liquidity for NFTs. You could take out loans and or invest And you know, it's a great. I think it's a great idea. Now, would it work? I have no idea. Okay. But it's definitely something that I've had in the back of my mind, an idea that I've had and said, you know, what if someone can create a liquidity pool and they're taking it one step further and creating a bidding process and actually writing a contract from scratch. So this may not work or may work, but I think it's definitely a step into a direction that will work. I think that the space for the demand for liquidity for NFTs is there. NFTs are growing and people are going to want to collateralize those NFTs, etc. So, you know, there it is, guys. I wouldn't sleep on this. So keep an eye. I don't think they're going to have a token or anything. I think just literally the revenue from that contract is somehow going to be shared to the Wise stakers. Now, you know, I got a stake in Wise. I know some of the guys that watch this channel do. So perhaps maybe we can be positively impacted by that. We got Trapcation says that Hex is pumping. Yeah, I had it up. I saw Hex started going up like 14% today. Let me pull that up for you guys. Yeah, up 14%. Another pump today after being quiet for a while. It seems to me, now, I mean, I may be wrong. Like, you know, the markets, the Bitcoin can warm up. Maybe some of the altcoins warm up and then Hex doesn't do as well. But then as soon as like BTC and ETH start dumping, Hex starts doing better. So I question whether whether Hex is more correlated to the dollar than it is to Bitcoin. And perhaps it probably is. I don't know. But it certainly seems that way. You got Hex there at 13.5 cents. And yeah, Hex USDC. I see it. I got it right here. Well, Hex Tether, but you know, yeah, it's the same price right now, about 13.5 cents. So yeah, I got me a little bag of Hex, and you know, I'm in it to win it. Let's see. You know, I'm also considering maybe doing a longer stake there to try it out. But I do ultimately have Liqiud Hex, and you know, I did a sacrifice for Pulse, and I'm waiting for that snapshot date to be announced because I do want to go ahead and move capital onto the Ether chain to make sure that it is that it gets snapshot in anticipation for this Pulse chain. Trapcation says no, it's higher. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up over here on just here on Coin, not on CoinGecko, on yeah, on CoinGecko. 13.7, yeah. It's looking all right. Looking all right. You can check the market data. Hex against USDC 13.8. So yeah, it's doing all right, guys. I'm going to let you guys know about that Fox token airdrop. I must say, you know, shout out to Marlon, one of our chat members. He messaged me a few weeks ago about it, and it took me a few days to get around to it. And yeah, you know, I'm glad I did. And also shout out to him too. He sent me some pictures. I'm not going to pull up my email right now. I'm going to download them next time so I can show him. I don't want to pull up my email right now while I'm live. And you know, he did send them to me. He went out to the Smoky Mountains, I believe this weekend, and he sent out some pictures of his log cabin or whatnot. So shout out to Marlon. I appreciate that. I saw that, Marlon. Next time I'll show it. I'll show the pictures. But yeah, make sure you guys check out Fox token airdrop. It's down below the link. There's no referral or anything like that. It's just, you know, I'm trying to provide some utility. So you guys, you know, if you have an airdrop, you'd be able to claim it. I had like 4 or 5 addresses. I'll tell you. I'm very excited. I have one address that was associated with Dora Ruin. I still haven't been able to retrieve the keys. I don't know if anybody knows how to do that. I got the passphrase for the Rune so I can get all the sub wallets, but I still haven't been able to get the Ether keys. It's like about $300-$400 worth of Fox tokens just sitting there. I already claimed them from another address, but I want to send them out. I want to swap them out. So I don't know how to do that. You know, if anybody knows, let me know. All right, on that note, guys, I'll take a few more comments and questions. Kind of sleepy today. We got Trap and Gino, usually not here in the chat. The regulars seem to have slept in. But nevertheless, make sure you check out this big new for Wise token Liqiud NFT contract revealed video there by the Wise Staking channel, by Peter in the Wise Staking channel. I think that this idea is pretty solid. Okay, it's a pretty solid idea. And he talks about the loan process. The purpose of the Liquid NFT contract is to enable NFT owners to borrow against the value of their NFTs by safely depositing an NFT into the contract and attracting vouchers who deposit funds into the contract to vouch for the value of that NFT. And I'll tell you this is going to expose a lot of the NFTs, because let's be honest, a lot of these NFT sales, they smell a little bit funny bunny. It smells like they're selling to themselves. But anyhow, we'll see what the market says. Okay, let's see what the market says. If you bought a CryptoPunk for $2 million, let's see if the market can vouch for that $2 million or whatever $1 million NFT. You could check a little bit more about the loan process. You click on this video. I'm gonna share it once again, and boom, there it is. But check that out, guys. Look through this video. So there's a loan process, an attraction phase. He breaks it down as to the process of collateralizing your NFTs and creating pools for them. And whether this is the solution or not, I think it's a step in the right direction. It's definitely a first mover right now. Who's going to figure this out? How are we going to crack this code to collateralize NFTs correctly and create liquidity pools for these NFTs? Something that's streamlined and it's mainstream. Go to pulse.info and get the Pulse contract address, and you can see the 15 billion. Yeah, you could do that yourself. I believe that there's a lot of money. That's fine. It's almost like you don't want to see the 15 billion. You keep ignoring it. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't really matter to me whether it's 2, 3. I get it. I'm more excited about what's gonna boom or what's potentially boom. The newest idea, like that, the Pulse idea, that the sacrifice phase is over. I'm already thinking of the next thing, I'm in it to win it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, Pulse, I'm great. Let's go. But what is the next thing, 15 billion, whether it's 13, it's all good. If you guys want to see the number and you guys want to get erect by that number, like Trapcation, go to there to pulse.info, get the contract address, and you should be able to see it on your own. And that's what it is, guys. So those two things are what I'm most excited about. I have a real suspicion of NFT, says Gino. Yeah, I do as well. I mean, it's obvious that anybody can create an NFT and then go buy it from another address. And all of a sudden, that NFT is, I can create, take a picture and go from another address and buy it for $2 million. And then all of a sudden, I got a $2 million NFT. Let's see if it's really worth that when they collateralize them on this this liquid NFT thing. Gino says, I sacrificed. Okay. Yeah, so did I. Why Sucks clone of Hex, that failed. I don't think it failed. I mean, it's above what it sold at. So it's definitely not a failure. It's just not as much as a success of as Hex was. But listen, I'm not one of those. You're starting to smell, Trapcation starting to smell like a Hex cult member. I'm not one of those. Relax. And I'm definitely not a Wise one either, but it's not like, I'm not Team Wise or Team Hex. I'm not a Hex fanboy. Okay, let me get it, let me be clear. And I'm not here to say what works or what not. I can see the Wise ETH chart. It's not a failure. It's basically about the same price that it sold at. So, I mean, I wouldn't call it a failure. It's just not as much as a success as Hex has been. But again, we're in both. So what does it matter? I'm excited about the liquid NFT things that they're offering. So Trapcation says, I have 80K Wise and I'm mad. Well, hey, that's your fault, not anybody else's. I mean, who purchased them? You or how did you get them on your own? But anyhow, you should be, if you have 85K Wise, you should be excited about this liquid NFT thing. This may positively impact your bag. So, what could we do to win instead of focusing on what's wrong, Reminds me of Hunter Biden art. Yeah, so like I said, some of these NFTs, I don't know if they're really worth what they say they're worth. And, all of a sudden I sold my NFT for 2,000 Ethereum. Like, you could have sold it to yourself for all we know. So, whatever. Trapcation says, I know it's my fault. Yeah, man, stay positive. Don't be like one of these Hexicans that's, Hex. Listen, I'm excited about Hex. I'm rooting for it. I'm glad it went up. And great, thumbs up. But that doesn't mean that other things can't work as well. Like, That community needs to stop with the black and white, the binary type thinking. Either I'm in or I'm out. Like, guys, spread love. It's the crypto way. Okay. To win, buy Hex and Pulse and ignore, right? See, like that type of thinking is not winning either. Because what if there's something here with these NFTs? Don't be the guy in 2011 that told me not to buy Bitcoin because he didn't understand it. Okay? Don't be that guy. Don't be the guy that trash talks other coins because you like another coin. You're better off staying quiet. Mira, shh, be quiet. Shh. Just be quiet about it. If you don't like it, ignore it, like you said. And you know what ignoring means? Don't talk about it. Okay? Trash talking a coin is not ignoring it. You're actually giving it some shine. So, but anyhow, Trap, I want to hear something positive from you. Every single comment from you has a negative something like, oh, this is not good, or you don't want to see the billions, and you need to relax out there, Trapcation. Throw me a winner instead of telling me about the 15 billion at posted. Show me the next thing. Give me something positive. Okay, the energy right now, your energy is not correct. To be honest with you, 15 billion is positive, but what else? Let's talk about something else. Okay, 15 billion. All right, what else? What else? Okay, 15 billion. We saw it. We're in it to win it. We're in the Pulsechain. We're ready to go. Whoever keeps pressing forward, says Gino. This is a funny chat today. Trapcation and Gino. I've never seen you guys, but you're here, so welcome. Let me go ahead and look over here, see if there's anything else that we're missing. But yeah, Hex indeed is pumping. And again, I'm not a Hexakin. I'm not, at the end of the day, I want it to move up, but am I a fanboy? No. That's the one thing that has always rubbed me wrong about the Hex community. The cult aspect is a little bit off-putting. It is. It's super off-putting. But whatever. What I've learned through some times is not, forget about what your personal opinion and what's the trend. Is it up or is it down? The trend's up. So, okay, let's go. How about Rune? Rune is dumping too. I'm not sure if you guys has been updated on Thor Rune Chain, but one of my favorite ideas of crypto, having an automatic market maker that allows you to swap between coins on their native chains, allowing Bitcoin native to swap to Litecoin native, Litecoin to Ether, Ether to Binance, etc. It's definitely something that shows promise, but they were hacked several times and they completely shut it, not completely shut it down, but you're not allowed to do any trading right now. They halted everything. And at the end of the day, the price is dumped about 5%. You can see it here on Rune against BSC, 690. Hex, best token for proof of stake. Maybe. I'm not saying it's not. I definitely am not saying it's not. Many failures are because we are pioneering. I trust a person who has lost. They have experience. A winner who has never lost, I can't trust because a loss is on the horizon. And how will they respond? I subbed a while back. I just don't get up so early. Shout out to Gino. Yeah, okay. I appreciate that. And you do make a point. You want to make sure you take advice from people that have experience. You know what I mean? Like, don't take cooking advice from a mechanic, and don't take car advice from a cook, and make sure that someone, you're taking advice from has had some ups and some downs. I agree with you. Mola says best token for proof of stake. Yeah, I just read that. And perhaps maybe. I think time will tell. So far, listen, the performance has been well. So I can't, there's nothing, I can't really say anything negative about it other than that the community seems like a bunch of cult members. But, whatever. That's aside from the price. So, I got a bag, I mean. What do you think will happen on ETH after the hard fork? With the fork after the Pulse fork, what would happen on ETH? I think ETH is going to keep going around. I think ETH is going to stay moving. The bridges are going to be to and from ETH. I don't think they're going to come out of the gate with fiat on and off ramps. So ETH is still going to be relevant in that ecosystem because everything is going to be going through ETH. But I'll tell you this: I'm looking at the entire play, and I don't see how the tokens that are being duplicated won't at least increase and have some value. They're all launching at zero. All the stables, everything is launching at zero, right? Okay, but I just can't see it just staying at zero. There's got to be some value on the table there, even if it's 1%. So I'm telling you, it's a big move. This is a big move. It's a quite clever move. If you literally the clever move is not the fork itself. The clever move is forking it and launching it already with the projects on it, launching a chain that's full. Because all these other chains, they're launched empty. Okay, when I think when Matic launched Binance, there were empty chains. There was nothing on them. This thing is already launched with weight. It has the container's full. There's product. You know what I mean? So what it's actually worth, it may be worth very little, but it's gonna be worth something. I'll tell you that much. So I think, again, I can't make absolute statements. I can't say it's gonna be worth something. I don't know. I think it's going to be worth something. That's my opinion. Now, what will happen, I don't know, but I can speculate. I don't see how it can stay at nothing. Put it that way. I don't see a situation where the airdrop remains worthless on all the tokens. Some tokens may remain worthless, but some of them, like how about the ETH, the P-ETH that everybody gets? I mean, like, what is it going to be worth? Even if it's worth a penny, it's worth 1 penny more than what you had. So it's quite exciting. I got to say, it's a very clever, and for those that are they can't wrap their mind around it or not. I mean, they may have missed the train. I don't know. The reason I'm in it at the end of the day is that I think that the potential upside exceeds that of the downside. The upside is like, what's the upside? Well, the upside may be, I don't know, very high if you look at the comparables. What's the downside? Well, the downside is like you lose everything that you sacrificed. So, I've came up with a number, and that number I'm comfortable. It's already sacrificed. I don't have it in my bag. And if I don't get any more tokens, I'm fine. All right, guys, I'll take a few more comments and questions. Shout out to Mola. I hope I answered your question. I don't even know if you were actually asking about that Pulse hard fork or this new improvement protocol that's happening on ETH. I think that's priced in already. Tell us, champ, how Pulse sacrifice will work. I mean, you should. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but if you sacrifice, you guys should already know, what's it's going to be. The sacrifice is going to give you guys points, and whoever has the most points, they're going to be given free Pulse, is my understanding. So all the sacrifices are made public. And those that are going to airdrop the Pulse tokens are going to airdrop to those that made the larger sacrifices. What are the tokens are going to be worth? They're launching at zero. And you can't expect any profit from anybody else's work. And, it makes sense. That way they don't got to register as a security. They're doing it similar to how Satoshi dropped Bitcoin. The Satoshi dropped the code, allowed people to mine those coins for free. Like, there was a point that you can go to faucets and get, a Bitcoin out of a faucet, 5 Bitcoin just for like clicking. So, you could get free Bitcoin at the very beginning. It was being literally dripped out of faucets. And because of that, I think he was able, I don't know what the legalities are, but I assume he was able to not be registered as security because it wasn't offered as a pre-sale with the intent of making money. So this is more of a political statement, if anything, that you're sacrificing for free speech with no expectation of a return. But All that being said, I still think that there could be value here because, like I said, the duplicates on the chain, almost everything is getting copied. So, what's that going to do? I have no idea. It's very interesting. All right, guys. It seems like the chat's a little sleepy today. Shout out to Mola, Gino, the rest of the boomers. I appreciate your time. Drop a comment on me. And I'll be back tomorrow. Stay strong out there, guys. It's the voice of the blockchain, Satoshi's big cousin, crypto's finest champagne crypto.